Hello lovely people. I stumbled upon that the 1st of April is the International Day of Tatting, and since I wanted to learn how to make tatting lace for possibly a decade, I thought that might be a good occasion to just do it. I have this book. It's standing in my shelf now for probably 10 years or so, and yeah, I will today start to try if I can figure out how to make tatting. I have this little shuttle that also was laying around for a decade, and yeah, now let's see if I can learn how to make it in less than a week, because then this video should be uploaded.
I used the instructions in the book and tried to understand how tatting is done, but honestly I couldn't figure it out. There was no loop, there was no tension, and it didn't work. So I took my laptop and searched on YouTube for some tutorials, and I found one by Bryce Adams, and with her tutorial I was finally able to make the first steps, and it took again a while to understand how it's done and how to turn the hand, but after a while it got easier, and I loved her little slogan in her video. And finally I had my first little tatted loop. After that I went on and tried to make the first pattern, and it worked really well after I had the tutorial and now understood how to make it, but so often I let fall the shuttle or turned in the wrong direction, but there I had a little pattern. Then I decided I want to make something I want to use later, and started with white thread, a white cotton thread, and I found a pattern in a book, I think it's from 1950s, and just made an insertion lace that is described there. And this is how far I got last night. I made some mistakes. For example, here is it twisted, I don't know why, and here it seems like it isn't attached. I have to look up how this is made. Then and this picot isn't that big, and yeah, those tiny things I can make better, but I'm really glad that I understood how it works. And now I will go on, and I think I will make a trim out of it one day. So I think an insertion lace, so that I mirror this part to the other side, and then this is the middle. So I think I will go on and just try to put this part where I have made many mistakes, something like underneath the arm or at the back side of something, so it isn't wasted. And yeah, now I will go on and make some more. But first I went out to enjoy the first flowers and insects of the springtime, and just sat down in the next park and went on tatting there. A great advantage of tatting is that you only have to take the shuttle and yarn with you, and you're pretty well prepared to tat everywhere. But it got cold soon, so I got back home. This is how far I got last night or yesterday. I solved the problem with the gaps you can see here. Where's the biggest gap? No, the problem was this not really being attached. It's now better, and it's just a question of tension. So the first new stitch has to be really, 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 really close to the last one, and then it gets better. I think I have to steam it so that it looks a bit neater, but I'm really happy how this turned out, and I'm really surprised how fast I learned it. I made mistakes like here I attached the pattern, the loop to the wrong picot, but overall it looks really how do you call it, really even. And I'm used that when I try something new that is really irregular, and yes, the picots aren't always the same size, but these are things I really can learn with time. And I think now it's mostly practice. I will now go on and try to make the other side, the other side, to see how this looks, and I think then it's done for this little test project. Here I have already made quite a bit of the second half of the lace. Luckily I had another shuttle, so I just could attach the other side with an own shuttle and its own thread, so I didn't have to cut anything. And I got really fast, despite the fact that I often lose the shuttles. And I produced such a big mess with all the threads, or especially those where I had to attach a new thread. So I decided I would cut those threads, and I had read it in a book, and they were saying I just have to cut it really close and you would never fiddle it open with a sharp needle. So I trusted it and I did it. And it was a nightmare. I could completely pull it open. I didn't need a needle. So I cut off the thing I had already done because I couldn't fix it, and tried to somehow make a new attachment. I've looked it up on YouTube again and found a solution how to really fix the new and the old threads together, and I tried this. But here you can see the little point where I have joined the new thread, and now you can't see it, and it's really stable. And this book will possibly never leave this shelf ever again. This is how far I got after 3 days, and it's really bumpy and wrinkly, so I decided to steam it to see if the structure looks better afterwards, because I really love lace when it's neat and flat, and it was directly way flatter and the shape way more symmetrical, so I was really happy with it. And this is the final lace so far. So this is the third day of this little project. I have finished the lace so far, at least to a point. I think I can say that I learned the basics, and now I will go on and make some more, because I think I want to use it as an insertion lace, maybe as a waistband or the arms, or maybe the décolleté, something like that. I don't know yet, but that's why I made it so I can go on with it without stopping or cutting off some thread. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it,
and if you felt inspired, I really recommend to just try something. I always thought tatting is really difficult, and that's why I didn't do it before, but I'm really surprised that it's not easy, but so easy learnable. I think that's it. So yeah, if you enjoy it, leave a comment or subscribe. You really help me with that. So have a nice weekend.